Last week we worked hard and was enthusiastic, and it was far from perfect, but it was a step in the right direction. Yeah. Oh look, it was more simply, we ran really hard, and the last quarter we won when the game was up for grabs. It was really good contested ball and tackling, and a fair few shots on the goal. So dominant entries, but up until then, I think both clubs wouldn't have been. We really took the game on, played up tempo, but we certainly like to be a bit more organised and win the ball a little bit more. But in saying that, sometimes you've got to do that to get yourself going. So yeah, it was a small step along the right path. Oh, not really. I mean, we've went in. We had Blake, Ruck, and Kazitsky, a little bit of Sam Fisher around the ground. So yeah, it's probably going to stay like that. And look, he's a dominant force, but we know you're competing against the ones they name, and he's out, and we've got Hayes out, and they got maybe 5 or 6. So it's just what it is what it is. He's out, and we just plan for, is it going to be Johnson and Bradley, or is it they bring in Zach Clark or Griffin? So they've got a few options, and we've just got to plan for those contingencies as best we can. But at the end of the day, when the ball's bounced, it's about competing and effort. Well, the significance at the time, we kept banking 4 points, but what we know is the past is irrelevant. And we have an understanding of how to play the ground and what sort of teams you need to pick, and the run that's required to get it done and the effort. So that's probably the relevance. But again, the challenge is to reproduce those types of efforts. And unfortunately, it doesn't count for anything, the past. Yeah, ideally, I think that's an element. And it's such a big ground, you need some good targets to work through. And Rewalt, Kazitsky, Sipos, and then plenty of runs. So yeah, you always try and pick a balanced team, but it's really about its length. It's 172 metres or whatever it is, so that's pretty long, So yeah, there's all elements of that, but the fundamentals don't change. The basics, and win the ball and compete and tackle and work hard for your teammate. Yeah, I think we mix it up. It's been effective for us, and at the minute that's probably the role. So yeah, young players. They've only got so many. The more first years you play, and we're played a few and you play a few, and the young teams, the game's so debilitating over the 120 minutes. At least you've got, that's why we talk about 100-game players and even 3-year players, that they're more conditioned to withstand the rigours of AFL footy and go to the end. So, it's about managing your young players, and you're seeing that at Gold Coast and rotating players, because it's a very physically demanding and mentally tough caper, I find them a very good team. At home they're incredibly hard to beat, and they've displayed great character and form, in my view, against the odds. So we're expecting nothing less than a fierce contest.